In a quiet village surrounded by tall mountains and whispering forests lived a poor woodcutter named Arjun. Every morning, before the first rays of the sun touched the earth, he would walk into the forest with his small axe on his shoulder. His clothes were old, his hands were rough, and his income was barely enough to buy a single meal a day. Yet, Arjun carried something far more precious than wealth. He carried honesty in his heart, like a shining jewel no one could steal. One misty morning, Arjun walked deeper into the forest than usual. The trees were soaked with dew, and the gentle wind seemed to hum a melody only nature understood. Arjun reached the edge of a small river, where the water was so clear that you could see every stone at the bottom. This was his favorite place to cut wood, because the peace here felt like a blessing. He lifted his axe to start his work when suddenly, his foot slipped on the wet ground. The axe flew out of his hand and landed straight into the river with a small splash. Arjun gasped. The river was deep and fast-flowing. He dropped to his knees, reaching helplessly into the water, but the axe had disappeared. "Oh no! What will I do now?" Arjun whispered, his voice trembling. His axe was the only tool he owned. Without it, he could not earn even a single coin. His eyes filled with tears, and hopelessness pressed heavily on his heart. Still, he sat by the river and prayed silently, because that was all he could do. Just then, the water started glowing with a strange golden light. Arjun blinked, confused. The ripples grew wider, and suddenly, a beautiful, divine figure arose from the river, a graceful spirit with shimmering clothes and eyes that felt as deep as the sky. Arjun's heart pounded in his chest. He had never seen anything so magical. "Why do you cry, woodcutter?" the spirit asked gently, her voice as calm as flowing water. Arjun bowed respectfully. "My axe slipped into the river. It is all I have to earn my living. Without it, my family will starve. I don't know what to do." The spirit nodded with kindness. She dipped her hand into the water, and when she lifted it, she held a shining golden axe. The blade sparkled like the sun, and the handle was carved with patterns no human could make. "Is this the axe you lost?" she asked. Arjun's eyes widened. For a moment, he imagined how much money such an axe could bring him, wealth beyond his dreams. But he shook his head firmly. "No, ma'am, this is not mine. I cannot take what I do not own." The spirit's smile brightened. She disappeared into the river again and emerged with a silver axe, more beautiful than anything Arjun had ever seen. "Is this one yours?" she asked. Arjun touched the handle softly, then immediately let go. "This is not mine either," he said honestly. "I am poor, but I cannot lie." The spirit looked into his eyes with admiration. She went into the river a third time and returned with a simple, old, wooden-handled axe, Arjun's real one. "Is this your axe?" she asked gently. Arjun's face lit up with relief. His voice cracked as he said, "Yes. This one is mine. Thank you so much." The spirit held out all three axes, gold, silver, and iron, and said, "Your honesty has been tested, and you have passed. Because you chose truth over greed, these rewards belong to you. Take them, woodcutter." Arjun stepped back, shocked. "But I cannot accept what I did not earn." "You earned them with your character," the spirit replied. "A truthful heart is worth more than any treasure." Tears filled Arjun's eyes. He accepted the axes humbly. When he returned to the village that evening, everyone gathered around him, curious about the gold and silver he carried. Arjun told them the truth, every detail, without hiding anything. Some people were amazed, some jealous, but many more were inspired. Days passed, and Arjun became known everywhere as an honest man. Traders trusted him, villagers respected him, and even strangers greeted him with warmth. Not because of the gold and silver he now owned, but because people could feel the purity in his soul. One day, a wealthy merchant visited the village. He had heard stories of Arjun's honesty and wanted to test it himself. He approached Arjun and said, "I am looking for someone trustworthy to handle my business affairs. People say you are the most honest man in this region. Will you work for me?" Arjun agreed, and his life slowly transformed. He began earning a stable income, enough to feed his family and help others too. The gold and silver axes remained safely stored in his small home, untouched. To him, the true reward was not the treasure, it was the respect he earned and the opportunities that honesty brought into his life. One evening, as he rested under the stars, His son sat beside him and asked, "Father, why didn't you take the golden axe when the spirit first showed it to you? We could have become rich instantly." Arjun smiled and placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "My child, wealth earned through lies disappears like smoke. But truth builds a life. The golden axe was never mine, but honesty opened doors that gold never could." The boy nodded, understanding the depth of his father's words. Arjun looked at the sky, feeling at peace. The river had taken his old axe, but it had given him something far greater, a chance to prove who he truly was. And from that day on, people told the story of the honest woodcutter to their children, their grandchildren, and to every heart searching for a path. It became a reminder that sometimes, life tests us in unexpected ways. But when we choose truth, even in our hardest moments, the universe rewards us in ways we never imagined. Because honesty may not always give you what you want immediately, but it always gives you what you deserve. And that is the true reward of a pure heart.